Howdy. Today I want to read to you from Exodus 35. I'm going to be skipping around to some different portions. Moses said to all the congregation of the people of Israel, "This is the thing the Lord has commanded. Take from among you a contribution to the Lord. Whoever is of a generous heart, let him bring the Lord's contribution." Skipping further. "Let every skillful craftsman among you come and make all that the Lord has commanded: the tabernacle, its tent, and its covering, its hooks and its frames, its bars, its pillars and its bases, the ark with its poles, the mercy seat and the veil of the screen," and so forth. Skipping further. "Then all the congregation of the people of Israel departed from the presence of Moses, and they came, everyone whose heart stirred him, and everyone whose spirit moved him, and brought the Lord's contribution to be used for the tent of meeting." Skipping further. "All the women whose hearts stirred them to use their skill spun the goat's hair, and the leaders brought onyx stones and stones to be set." And going further. "Then Moses said to the people of Israel, 'See, the Lord has called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with skill, with intelligence, with knowledge, and with all craftsmanship, to devise artistic designs, to work in gold and silver and bronze, in cutting stones for setting, and in carving wood, for work in every skilled craft.'" You see, when we think about joy and creativity, what we realize is that this is not just for the sake of fun, but it's also a form of worship unto God. You see, oftentimes when we think about worship, we oftentimes think about singing in church or playing music in church. We end up creating a very narrow idea of what creativity can be within those confines. Even when we think about art, we think about stained glass windows or we think about paintings of Bible scenes. But in reality, any form of creativity that is able to do something good and beautiful and utilize the gifts that we've been given can be a form of worship unto God. It can be things like construction work, it can be carving, it can be gardening, it can be writing, it can be rhyming, it can be all sorts of things. It can be coordinating efforts between people. Oftentimes, creativity is even in coordinating people's creative efforts. One of the things I took joy in was that a friend of mine in college had written a bunch of music, but he had written it all at piecemeal. And so I took all these songs, dozens of them, and coordinated them into albums that had themes and sets and that worked well together. The thing is that I wasn't creating the music, but I still did something creative by coordinating those efforts. And in addition to that, there might be even efforts like how is it that all sorts of different volunteer efforts in a community would work well together. Creativity might be coordinating those with each other. Creativity can span all sorts of things. But what's important to realize in this is that it says in this chapter that people's hearts stirred within them. The thing is that the Spirit of God ends up telling us that we are meant to be creative and that the things that we're doing are meant to be used to create beauty and joy within the world that is around us. And each of us is unique. So therefore, each one of us is meant to create in ways that are unique to how we have been made. So that we're not meant to do things that are always completely different, but yet at the same time, each thing we create has a mark of our uniqueness. So the question is, in which unique ways have you been called by God to be creative in the world around you today? And have you been doing that this week?